Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here, and welcome to Mornings with 60 and Me. Today is Thursday, August 25th. Welcome to Thursday. It's been a very busy news day yesterday, and I've got my cup of coffee here today. I'm being a big rebel. I'm trying coffee instead of tea. I love coffee in the morning sometimes. There's a difference between tea and coffee for me. Coffee is kind of a serious drink. When you've got things on your mind and you're trying to really, get to grips with something. So, when I'm making a decision, I'll have a cup of coffee and think about it. So there's my cup of coffee. Hope that you've got a drink, tea or coffee. Sit down, relax, and I'll bring you up to speed on what's going on in the world. Now, as I said, it's been a big news day. Yesterday, we had a horrific earthquake in Italy, and just steadily overnight, the news continued to come in, and it looks like about 240 people now have been killed in this earthquake. There have been about 3 little towns that have been affected most dramatically. There's Americi, Accumoli, and Arquata del Tronto. I read these because I don't know these towns, but they're very small. I mean, Americi only has 2,000 people in it. So losing 247 people across those 3 small villages is big. It's really significant. And so overnight, the rescuers worked throughout the night to try to rescue people who were trapped in the rubble. And, one that I watched this morning just touched my heart. The rescuers were digging, pulling out huge pieces of rock and metal, and there was a little girl trapped in the ground, and they were talking to her and trying to reassure her and pulling, and you could just sense everybody was coming together trying to help her. And then finally they pulled her out, and she was covered in dust and really, really shaky, and one of the rescuers grabbed her and held her, and somebody called from everybody was watching, all the people, and they started clapping and said, beautiful girl. How did they say it? It was like bella ragazza, beautiful little girl. And it was just so sweet. And I tell that one story because it's being repeated in 3 towns and all around the countryside in Italy this morning, and people are waking up to the reality that a lot of their friends and their families have been affected and their buildings are destroyed. The mayor of Americi says that his town is basically not there anymore, and the pictures are pretty horrific. But anyway, everyone here at 60andMe is so, putting out all our positive energy for everyone that we know in Italy. We have friends there and people who are in our community, 60andMe community. Just hang in there and know that you are loved and that we are all cheering for you. And at the same time, yesterday there was an earthquake in Burma, and 6.8, so in fact a stronger powered earthquake, but it was in an area that wasn't so populated, so there were 3 people who lost their lives. But the big damage in Burma was the Buddhist shrines. It's in a tourist area where there are about 2,000 of these shrines, and less than 100 were damaged, but still a significant amount. And that they're just now regrouping as well. So our hearts go out to those people at the same time. So overnight, another story to share. In Afghanistan, there was an attack on the American university there. Now, this is a school, has about 1,700 students, so it's a good size. And it also is kind of symbolic of the positive relationship between the United States and Afghanistan. And so 2 people, or maybe a few more, but 2 were killed. Shooters attacked the school. They came in and kept everyone hostage. It was a very uncertain situation for many hours. But when the dust settled, they were actually killed, the terrorists. But they did actually take the lives of 12 people. There were 7 students and 5 policemen and security guards. So, it's that part of the world is still, after all these years, in turmoil, and it's very sad that these young students were affected. So, of course, their families, there are people behind the scenes here whose lives are just irreversibly changed now. So, just hope everybody has the strength to carry on. It's a tough world, isn't it? I mean, there's just so much news. I know that we have lived 60 years. us women in 60andMe. And so we've seen a lot. We've seen a lot of sadness and a lot of bad news. I think it's just the immediacy of it now. That we get it on our news channels, always blasting breaking news, and we get it on Twitter, Facebook. It's just more in our face. But I wanted to report too that in Turkey, U.S. Vice President Joe Biden met with President Erdogan, and the purpose of the trip was to really try to reestablish a positive relationship. It's been a bit shaky for a while now because there's so much complexity in that part of the world, and the United States is backing some groups that Turkey doesn't feel deserve that, and the United States is trying to be supportive of their NATO ally, but at the same time follow the laws of the nation. So there's two things that they talked about. Primarily, one was the movement of Turkish troops into Syria, and they're obviously trying to block the ISIS terrorists from amassing a strength on the border. But Turkey is also concerned about the Kurdish fighters who are also moving along the border with Turkey and Syria. They're doing some interesting things. They're actually defeating ISIS, but Turkey feels the Kurdish rebels are not on their side. So United States has been backing them, and Joe Biden yesterday pretty firmly declared that he wants those troops, the Kurdish troops, to pull back. Whether it'll happen or not is, it's just not like a normal place. It's just there's so much history and complexity. But other thing he said was, after the coup in Turkey, Turkey wanted United States to extradite the cleric Gulen, and they wanted them just to release him from the United States. He's living there in exile. But Joe Biden said, it's not possible. We need evidence. We need to follow the due process of law. So that's Joe Biden in Turkey. And in Iraq, the battle for Mosul continues. This is a big, big battle. There are millions of civilians still in Mosul, and ISIS controls it. And the Iraqi forces, supported by the Kurdish, what are they called, Peshmerga, they actually are moving forward step by step, village by village, and taking them over from the ISIS control. They're getting close. They're about 60 miles now from Mosul. It sounds like, or 60 kilometers. Doesn't sound like very far, but the journey is literally one village at a time before they get to Mosul. Maybe by the end of the year, this battle will be decided. But that's another news story to report to you. It's all very, very important. Now, the other thing I want to switch now. Let's do a fun story, because there are people in this world doing amazing things with their lives, and they're an inspiration to us. And these are the goodness people. And this is a woman. Her name is Madonna Buder. Madonna Buder is a nun. She's 85 years old, and she started running when she was, I got to make sure I get this age right, when she was 47, 48. She started running. A local priest suggested that she might want to get some exercise, and so she started running and loved it. And now at 85, she does triathlons. Now, triathlons are 2.5 miles, 2.4 miles running, biking 112 miles, swimming 2.4 miles or kilometers, biking 112 miles, and running 26.2 miles. Okay, I messed that up, but you get the idea. It's a lot of work, a lot of exercise. Running 26 miles after you've swum 2 miles and biked 100 miles. Crazy. But this nun is, she's now going to be appearing in Nike. They have a new campaign called Unlimited Youth, and she's going to be showing off her impressive athletic skills in that advertisement. But she is the oldest woman in her category to win this many triathlons, and you've got to watch the video. We'll put some of the links in the article. She looks fantastic, of course, but it's her passion for life and her joy of competing. And just someone said to her, "Aren't you worried about getting in the water?" She says, "Well, it hasn't bothered me the last 45 times." But she's great. So Madonna Buder, Sister Buder, thank you so much for your inspiration and for being here for us women who aren't quite that strong yet. But if you've done a triathlon, let us know. I mean, do you do any kind of marathons or triathlons? I'd love to meet you. Leave your details in the section below. And actually, while I'm on that subject, if you want to receive this news first every day, just go up to 60andme.com/mornings, and you can sign up to get the news first. So we love to have you here, and I just love the opportunity to get to know some of you. I did want to say one thing to remind you about our Facebook page. Now, in our 60andMe Facebook page, we have about 82,000 women, and it's growing about 1,000 women every week. So we've got women from all over the world, and we put articles up on our website, and we share them also on Facebook. But there's also lots of conversation in Facebook. Now, the reason I mention this is yesterday I put a post on Facebook, and it just said, let's get to know each other. In the section below, just put something about yourself, where you live, what you love to do. We had over 500 comments, and these were not just hi everyone. These were real comments. I'm so and so. I live in Chicago, Illinois. I love knitting, racing. I'm starting painting, and I have a dog. Just really cool information about each other. So if you're looking to meet people, maybe have a pen pal in our Facebook community, I'll put the link in the article here for you to go to that Facebook post and just sit down with a cup of tea or a glass of wine tonight and just read the comments. You will be amazed at the number of people we have in our Facebook community doing the most incredible things. And maybe there's someone who lives down the road from you. There were several conversations that got started. Oh, I live there too, or I live 10 miles away. So people are meeting each other. So just in addition to what we do here on Mornings with 60andMe and the website and our YouTube page, we've also got a great Facebook community. So go join it. Okay, so I want to close with a little article that may be of interest to some of you, and others may just say, that's it, done for the day. But I always think about retiring after I retire. I'm not going to retire for a while, and some of you are probably saying the same thing. But if I did want to retire, that is, maybe move to a new place and start maybe start a new life in a place where it's cheaper, where there's different culture, where there's different food, new people, and maybe a beach or water. Where would I go? So there's a group called Live and Invest Overseas. I actually interviewed Kathleen Petticord, who runs that group. There's several of her videos on our YouTube channel. But they put out every year a little report on the places people are retiring. And there are 10, or top 10. I'll leave the link for you, but I won't read them all. Just to say that they use a criteria, just economy, environment, way of life, security, and then some reports from the people living there. They put it all together, mix it up, and come up with the top 10. So there's one thing in common with all of them. Can you imagine what it is? I gave you a preview early. It's that they have a beach, or they're near the water. I think we've got this thing about retiring and just having an ability to be by the sea. It's something about it. But anyway, here are the top 5. First one is actually, before I start, there's actually a bunch in Europe. So they're not always in South America or remote places. There are some in Europe too. So these are the top 5. First one is the Algarve in Portugal. This one last year too. It's an up-and-coming area. Check it out, Algarve. Second is Valletta, and that's the capital of Malta, which is another island in Europe. And I've been there, and it's actually very nice. It's a very cool little place, quite small, but by the sea. The next one is Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. Some of you have maybe gone on vacation there, but it's number 3 on the choice for retirement destinations. And there's some good reasons for this. It's an interesting place, and it's on the sea. The next one, number 4, is Cayo in Belize. Belize is apparently really big with our Canadian women and men. Are you from Canada? Anyone you know in Belize? But it's number 4 on the list of cool places to retire, and it's by the sea. And the 5th one is another place I've been through by a train. I've never stopped. It's called Ljubljana in Slovenia, and it's Ljubljana. It doesn't look like that when you see it, but it's a really cool little place. I don't think it's on the sea, this one, but there's a big river that runs through it, and it's very, very beautiful. And Slovenia is one of the more economical places to live in Eastern Europe. So there's lots more in Malaysia, Mexico, Greece, even in Dominican Republic. But take a look and see what draws you to it. maybe if you've got the inkling to change your residence and move to somewhere new in the world. So that's it for the day. I hope that I've given you some good ideas. I'd like to remind you again to go up to 60andme.com mornings and sign up to get this news first every day and ask you a question. So let's think, what is the one country in the world where you would like to retire? Now, some of you may say, oh, I don't want to retire anywhere. I'm really happy right here where I am, and that's totally fine. But if you are thinking about retiring, what is the one country that you would like to retire in? Leave your comments below, have a conversation, and share notes. Well, everyone, have a fantastic day. I hope you have a great Thursday, and I look forward to seeing you all back here again tomorrow with Mornings with 60 and Me. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.